Alright, let's make fruit salad. Um, for this recipe, you're I want you to think back to when you made pastry cream in the bakery because this is very similar. Okay. Although I cut my fruit ahead of time, I recommend for you to make your sauce first and chill it, and then while that's chilling, go ahead and cut your fruit. Okay. For this recipe, I have my pineapple juice and my orange juice and my lemon juice heating up in a pan. I have my sour cream for later, ready to go. I have a bowl with a whisk that contains my sugar and my cornstarch. I have one egg, and then I have my fruit cut up. Most of it is cut. I have kiwi, your Costa Rican pink pineapple. I cut my grapes in half. I have my segments of orange, and then I have the apple, and we'll cut the apple and the last of the kiwi at the very end. Okay? And this recipe is a fairly simple recipe. It's a great salad, and I'm gonna show you a couple of ways to put this together after we make the sauce. So the first step is making the sauce, and then we'll let it cool down. Okay? I have my liquid is almost to a boil. I have my sugar and my cornstarch in my bowl. I'm going to crack my egg into my bowl. Okay? Make sure you get no shells in there. Alright? And then I'm going to mix this together, cornstarch, sugar, and egg. And this is very similar from when you make pastry cream. Okay? Then, once you have this ready, I like putting my my towel under it so my bowl doesn't go all over the place. My juice is to a boil. This is pale yellow and well mixed. And then we're going to temper the egg and cornstarch mixture with the juice mixture, right? And then the idea is that we're slowly pouring in here to bring this mixture to temperature a little bit at a time, and then we're going to bring it back to our pot and continue cooking it until it's thickened, which it should be no higher than 185 degrees, right? We know with scrambled eggs in a medium if we do that, okay? But just think if this was pastry cream, this will be your milk, and this will be your cornstarch egg mixture and sugar. I'm going to slowly pour in here. Just know that if you pour too fast, you might cook the eggs and scramble them. Okay, and then we're not going to have enough binding power. And you're just barely pouring a little string of juice, a little bit at a time. If you don't feel comfortable moving or pouring from your pot, feel free to change this to something with a spigot that will allow you to mix much more even. Notice that now this is moving really quickly, which means that I loosen up the egg a little bit. I'm going to continue doing this and bringing this up to temp. While I'm mixing this, know that you don't necessarily have to use OJ and pineapple and lemon. I always use lemon, and I mix my juice depending on what kind of fruit salad I'm making. It's important to know that if you use like cranberry juice, I would probably avoid the lemon and know that your sauce will gonna turn out kind of like a pink color, right? So you might not want to do that. It might not look desirable. It's actually gonna turn kind of like a Pepto-Bismol color, so it'll be kind of gross. But grape juice works well. Like they sell that white grape juice that works really well for this, and you can also add any liqueur to this, like any almond flavor liqueur or any nut flavor or fruit flavor liqueur you can add to this. Okay, now I have a fairly foamy liquid here. Make sure you're grabbing all your cornstarch from the bowl. I'm going to turn this pot back on and pour all our liquid all at once in there. Okay, don't pour it a little bit at a time. You want to make sure that you have enough liquid in there so it doesn't burned. And then I have this in medium-low heat, and I'm going to whisk this. And you'll notice that once it starts heating up, your foam will disappear, okay? I'm not mixing nearly as fast now at the beginning until I see some steam coming up. Once I start seeing some steam coming up, I'll start moving much faster. And then know that if you're worried about it sticking to the bottom, you can definitely use a rubber spatula for this, just to check. But the whisk is a must. I'm gonna try to show you here as soon as it starts thickening. I'm pulling it off the heat right now because I saw that it started getting pretty thick fairly quickly. Okay, and now I have this like almost pastry cream kind of look to this pot, and I don't want to leave it in this pot any longer, and I want to remove it right away. I'll show you a little bit better from the bowl, okay? It should look kind of like pudding, okay? Turn around here. This will it's nice and thick, and it's pretty hot right now. So the goal will be to go either put an ice bath under it or a refrigerator. I'm gonna go to a refrigerator right away, and I'm actually gonna put plastic straight to it, but I'm not gonna tighten it up to the bowl. I'm just gonna put it to it and fold it back in, so we don't create a skin. Okay, and then I'll see you in about I don't know, 35, 40 minutes. Okay, team, our sauce is cold now. If you cool down your sauce and it looks kind of like a really yellow pastry cream, you're at a good place right now. Okay, our next step would be to take our sour cream and put it in here with this sauce, and then mix that thoroughly. Make sure I have a whisk in here, and make sure that your sauce gets mixed thoroughly. And it should look almost white. It should be a very pale yellow, but it should have the consistency of mayonnaise almost. Okay. If you look at it right here, it globs. Okay. That's the sauce. That's the consistency we're looking for. Fairly thick. Yeah. All right, and then so our sauce, our fruit salad dressing is done. I was thinking a minute ago as I was finishing my setup that some of you guys might have seen my my kiwis are cut perfectly round, and I don't know if you've ever peeled a kiwi before. I cut both of the ends off, and I usually just use a spoon, and I make sure that I get my spoon right in between the skin and the flesh, and I push all the way through so it comes to the other side. So see the spoon right there and the spoon in the back, and then I just rotate, holding the skin, I just rotate the spoon all the way through until I can peel my kiwi. Okay, and I have a whole kiwi already peeled, and then there's my skin. Alright, so now that we have this, we can put a plate together here. And I have it's a good time now that we can cut our apple, and I'm going to cut in one side of the apple And this is just for one plate presentation. I would just cube uh, all the all the fruit like the recipe would call for, and add it to the fruit salad dressing, and you could be. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But if you were serving this for like a lunch service, I would do something more like the approach I'm going to take here. And I have about a half an apple, and I'm cutting slices about an eighth of an inch, but I'm keeping the apple together, and that's so I can fan it. Okay, I'm going to show you that in a second. All right, but the first step here will be to take here. Let's make this a little bit more visible. I'm gonna bring that down. I'm gonna slide this over. I'm gonna put the plate right there. I think that's more visible. Okay, we would take some of the sauce. Remember, just like with all the other food that we'll be making, try to leave some negative space. I'm gonna put some sauce right in the center of the plate, and then with the bottom of my spoon, I'm going to push down and just stretch that sauce out, leaving about an inch before your edge there. Okay, I'm gonna grab a towel real quick. And now that I have my sauce laid out really nicely, that will provide some framework for where I'm going to put my my fruit, right? Then I can take a little bit of pineapple, and this doesn't necessarily have to be in one place. I'm just randomly gonna put fruit here, but I'm going to follow the frame that I created with this sauce, right? So I'm gonna put a little bit of pineapple in there, maybe one more piece, and I'm gonna take some red grapes and some green grapes together. I have those here, and I'm gonna kind of randomly lay those around, and I'm going to try to stay as much as possible with the frame of the sauce. Okay, and then take some. I'll take some oranges and I'll lay those out kind of randomly, and just kind of walking my way around the plate and seeing where I'm at. If you can do odd numbers, it would look much better than doing come on, kiwi. Just gonna keep it there. If something slides off the sauce like that, it's better to just kind of push it down and try to keep it there than try to make it do what you want. Because sometimes all that will happen is you'll end up with a really smush plate, right? And we don't want to do that. And then I'm gonna do that one more time, right? I'm just gonna go with the fruit, and I'm trying to keep in mind that different colors make food very attractive. Just gonna work my way around it. And that looks pretty good so far. And then, now that I have it all set up like that, I will take about a quarter of this apple, right? And I cut it and I have it, and then I'm going to slowly fan it out like so. And you'll end up with something that looks like that. Okay. And I'm going to place that right there. And then I'm going to take the other half and do the same thing and fan it out. And I'm going to place this right here. And I'm going to try to keep it together as much as possible. And I think I need one more, so I'm going to cut the other side of my apple and try to get one more, because I think 3 will look much nicer. Have one more fan right here, like so. I'm gonna take this guy and place him right there. Come on, big guy. There we go. Actually, I don't like that at all. Just keep it with 2. All right, and then you have a really nice fruit plate with some sauce. I'll take a shot of this guy so you guys can see what it looks like after it's all plated up. And I'm sure my green screen is not doing me any favors. Okay, but there you go, nice fruit salad. If you're just doing it for your family, like I'm gonna do with the rest of this, I'm just gonna put it in there and just let them go at it. But the consistency of the dressing should be like mayonnaise. Should taste really nice and sweet with a little bit of tanginess. And then all your fruit should have different colors and shapes if you're gonna put it in a plate, so it looks nice and attractive.